I had made an investment. This was one of the first investments I made when I started investing in 94, almost 29 years ago. And at the time, I was running a IT services company in Chicago. And I made this investment in this IT services company in India called Satyam Computers. And I knew those people. They used to come and meet me in Chicago periodically. So I knew it was a good company. I knew they were growing really fast. And then I looked at their valuation at that time. India was very undervalued then. Just the real estate they owned in Hyderabad exceeded the value of the business. And this was a IT company that was growing like 70% a year and, huge margins and everything. So I didn't put much. I think I put about $10,000. At that time, I didn't have much money. I had about $1 million. So about 1% of my portfolio, really small. $10,000 went into this company. I basically said, it's one of the businesses I understand well. It's got a very long runway, all these things. I'm really not going to look at it. And in that time in India, they didn't have DMAT. So I got physical share certificates sent to me, which I just stuck at the bottom of my drawer. And I said, okay, we'll open this when I'm a much older man, see what we want to do with it. And I just didn't really follow the company much. And I noticed when the dot-com bubble was raging in early 2000, about 5-6 years after I'd bought the company, that it had gone from 40 rupees a share to 7,000 rupees a share. It was trading at like a 150x, including some currency that went against me. So it was 150x in dollars. And I looked at it at that time. I mean, I knew their business was doing well, but there was no way to come up with a valuation that would fit, no matter how optimistic I was. And so I said, as much as I like this, we got to let this go. And I was also very skeptical about the whole process of sending the certificates back. And I didn't know whether the Indian government would allow me to repatriate the money. They said in theory, you can take everything back, but I said, I only gave them 10,000 and I'm going to, pull out 1.5 million or something, and they're going to like choke on that. And so I wasn't sure it'll all go through, but it did. Everything went through and I sold within 10% of the peak. And about 9 months later, it had dropped 85%. Still would have been a good home run, but that was my first 100 bagger. And so life was good. And so far, I've only had 200 baggers. I shouldn't say only, even one is good. And possibly with the one in Turkey, we'll have a third one. That'll be the most fun, I think, because it'll have the most meaningful amount of capital in it. So basically, when things get to total no-brainer territory, that it's just completely egregious, that's when you act.